Her body tells stories no words can replace. She left herself in a quiet, cold place. Years ago, when the world wouldn't bend, she wore a new name, tried to pretend. But the mirror won't lie, it whispers her name. It tells her so harshly she's a woman again. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She's trying to escape, she's flesh, she's blood. The world won't protect her. They call her a thief. Her own body stolen, no sense of relief. The cuts are so deep, the bruises won't heal. She binds herself tightly so she doesn't feel. Who decides what we keep, what we lose? Who we are, can we choose? Forever chasing, never reaching the end. No peace in the cutting, the pain is no friend. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She cannot escape, she's flesh, she's blood. She hates what she's given, what she can't control. The curve of her breasts, the ache in her soul. She curses the mirror and all that she knew, crushing the truth's blood that bleeds through. No escape, no disguise, she simply can't feel. Flesh tells the story of a girl that won't heal. Scars on her body, dents in her soul. Her broken voice just to feel whole. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, herself trying to stand where her father once stood. She can't escape, she's flesh, she's blood. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She cannot escape, she's flesh, she's blood, she's blood, she's flesh, she's blood, she's flesh, she's flesh, she's flesh. She's blood.
Ah, I love that. I keep having to remind myself that I did it. It's my lyrics. It's my ideas. And I think that particular version that I then published is about the 89th incarnation of that. So we all know it's AI, but they are my lyrics. I wrote them. I organized it. I did the video. So, and those, that's about as much as I did to that. And it just makes me think, I wonder how long the music industry has had AI and we didn't know. Right. I want to talk about a couple of things. I think the WI is a really interesting case about a charity and money and how this thing is manifest. Um, and I also want to talk a little bit about the MPs and puberty blocker trial. And there's a lot to say about that. I'm sure I'll have more to say about that in the coming in the coming weeks. But uh, women, women watching, tuning in today, and some men, but women tuning in, watching today, it is you that have been cancelled over the last however long. It's your language policed. It's your friends that you lost. It's your careers sometimes that you lost. It's your jobs that you lost. It's your places of work that you feel ostracized and that you can't speak. And I am minded that ivory towers are made in lots of different places from people that have been kicked out of other ivory towers and professional class and managerial class, and they can't help themselves. It's what they know. And they feel very much at home in a kind of talking head. These people are important, these people are not. And I just want to remind us all that if you were getting £90,000 a year, you would have spoken up about this a long time ago. And you wouldn't be waiting for a fucking trial on puberty blockers to sign your name to a letter. You'd have been talking about this a long time ago in the House of Commons, where you should talk about it. Like Rosie Duffield, who is talking about it, she didn't resign from Labour because Labour wanted to erase women. I can't remember why she resigned, something to do with the winter fuel allowance. But she hadn't resigned before. That was her final straw. Like, I'm so pig sick of saying thank you to MPs for not really doing their jobs at all. It's not okay. By the way, this is my own uber blinged jumper. If you want to get an uber blinged one, you're going to have to do a pretty hefty tip on your order, or I will manufacture one for you, but you will have to pay more for those. I get it for free because I do my work for free. So anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a look specifically at GMTV and what they called Good Morning Britain. I've created too many shadows on my face here. So let's have a look at them and what they have to say. Look at her face. She's so upset that men are being stopped from going into the Women's Institute.
A trans woman and long-standing member of the Women's Institute has told Good Morning Britain that a Supreme Court ruling has left the organisation in an impossible situation. In her first television interview, Rowena Purdy explains how she's been asked to leave the group after the judgment ruled it must restrict membership to biological women only. Michelle Morrison explains.
Encouraged to join, now asked to leave.
Anybody think that man looks like a woman at all? Anyone think he reminds you of your granddad, just with more hair?
Trans woman Rowena Purdy.
Let's just make sure you can see him. I'm just going to change this because this looks silly. I can't make him bigger. Never mind.
Has been a member of the Women's Institute for almost 10 years. But following an announcement it will no longer offer membership to transgender women, she received a call to confirm the news.
Even this, right? So a long time ago, the style guide clearly, so style guides are kind of what language you can use and how you can speak about things on television channels, and each channel will have something different and they kind of have to comply. But a long time ago, some really keen AGPs and handmaidens, what they decided to do is they decided to manipulate and coerce television companies, who then had to adhere to this idea that it's wrong to call this man a man. Like, even if I agreed with the term trans woman, which I don't, but even if I did, why is a trans woman she? Why could they not be a trans woman and still be he? Why the fricking Nora did we ever go along with this pronoun thing of calling men she? It's it's a really interesting one, but it's I'm sure I'm going to preach to the converted, but pronouns are really interesting because they deliver a whole lot of information in just like a couple of letters or three letters, with she. But with he, just two letters, and what that tells you is a whole set of things that usually as a woman you would need to know. Like if I said to you, "Oh, the carer is coming at 4 o'clock," he'll park his car just outside. Then you know that what's arriving in your house is a man, and you know whether or not you feel comfortable about that. You know the certain precautions you might take about that. There's a whole lot of information in just that, rather than, oh, the carer's coming at 4 o'clock. She'll be parking just outside. So I've let you know the person coming is a female, might change the way you dress, might change what you, whether or not you are somebody, like if you're a 70-year-old woman, you might ask your daughter to be there. You might want to make sure your husband stays home. But if it's she arriving, you might not do that. If it's he arriving, you would do that. So that's why it's really important. Why we ever gave the word she to these men, I have no idea.
Upsetting. It's funny because it's part of my monthly life, if you like, to suddenly be told, well, you're not wanted anymore. And I mean, that's the crux.
In April this year, women's rights campaigners celebrated after the Supreme Court ruled that the definition of a woman is based on biological sex. It sparked trans rights marches days later, with concerns it will have a significant impact over who can now access women's-only areas.
Yes, not men. Oh, it will have a significant impact on who can access women only areas. And what they're also worried about is whether or not adults can go to kindergarten classes as children.
Like in changing rooms, toilets and prisons.
Of course, it'll have a significant impact. They can fuck off. They're not welcome.
Official updated guidance on how to apply the ruling is yet to be published. The government saying that's being reviewed with the care it deserves.
No care. Just tell them to leave. No men in women only spaces. I want to sue the arse out of anyone that actually defies the law. And taking until next April, you simply would have to say, no more men allowed. I'm sorry, you're out. Well, no, don't even say sorry. And you could almost say, I don't know why we let you in the first place. It's because we're a bunch of complete cretins. But no, they're just out. It doesn't take until April. Why would it take until April to do next April? Why would it take 4 or 5 months to do that? That's ridiculous.
But last week, the Girl Guide said it's now banning trans girls from joining the
But it's still letting AGPs actually be guide leaders. So, woo, brilliant. Well done, the Girl Guides. Honestly.
I did the same the next day. Rowena is frustrated. The women's organisation has been left with no choice.
It put the WI in a bit of a nasty sort of catch-22, if you like, in that it doesn't want to lose the members.
Like, let's say the WI, like you go to the WI, it's a women's institute. It's specifically chosen, not him, but women have specifically chosen to go and spend their time with other women. Now, that might be women across generations. It might just be because you're really lonely and you don't have anyone else. Why would you then want to carry on going to that place if it's got men in it? Because we all know the conversation will change as soon as he's in it.
But it knows it can't take them on.
Others argue the decision must be honoured.
The issue is that they thought they were joining a women's society, and there are some male people present, and that's not what they signed up for.
Holy mother of what? How long have we been in this? Just say the word man. I just wonder, does Sex Matters have a style guide that says don't say the word man? They're not. The only adults who are male are men. And I just, honestly, this is the organisation that speaks nearly all the time on this issue now. And they, as far as I can see, they might also use the word man, but they do try and avoid it. The last few times I've seen any of them speak, they often say male people, male body. It's male person. The word is man. The word is man. It's really important. Every time you don't use the word man when you should use the word man, you make it more difficult to use the word man, because man begins to sound abrasive, extreme, rude. That's what it sounds like. And you just got to stop. You've just got to stop. Sex Matters has campaigned very much, has networked, has worked very hard, because they're all sort of women that had these jobs before. They're all very well off, and they're used to this sort of managerial level of doing stuff. And I dare say they've done some pretty good work, right? So I'm not denying that. But if you're gonna claim leadership positions where other women are excluded, which you do and you have, but that is the nature of, like, you're in the Sex Matters business, you're in the Helen, Maya, and Fiona business. You're not in any other business, and quite rightly, otherwise your organisation won't last. But for the love of God, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be the talking heads invited to talk on ITV, can you at least fucking use the word man?
And it's not what the charity gets its funds to do.
The WI says it will offer trans-inclusive space.
Honestly, it's so disappointing. It's just so disappointing. Male people. Fucking male people. 2025 this is. Some of us have been doing this for 10 years. Back in 2018, 2019, Standing for Women hosted something with Lord Lewis Mooney at the House of Lords, where we said all the things that now some people are beginning to catch up. Do you know how many MPs actually came to that meeting? One, David Davis. Like, no one else. And Tanny Gray Thompson came in. Everybody else was too afraid. They wouldn't come in. They just wouldn't come in. In that room, this whole thing changed. Medics started talking, like, all of it. We weren't saying trans women or male people or male body. Fucking catch up.
Spaces in new groups. Rowena, though, wants to go to current meetings with old friends. Michelle Morrison, Good Morning Britain.
And Rowena will actually be here in the studio talking to us about that decision after 7:30 this morning. Elsewhere today...
I mean, I just find it really annoying. I just find it really annoying. And I like Fiona. I really like Fiona a lot. I just don't, where is this idea coming from? That you say male people. Jesus Christ. Why? What good does that do to anyone? Oh, well, she said male people. Oh, good. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so let's have a look at him a bit later in the day. Oh, I feel so annoyed.
A trans woman who has been a member of the Women's Institute for nearly a decade is being forced to leave because the organisation has decided it can no longer offer trans women membership. The WI will restrict membership to only those born female from next year because, of course, of the...
See, born female. Why don't you... This is why it's so important that if you claim to advocate for women's sex-based rights, that you use the words men and women. Like, We are just saying, it's called the Women's Institute. It's called the Women's Institute.
Supreme Court ruling which defines a woman as biologically female.
Well, the human rights organisation Sex Matters argues that the court's decision simply has to be honoured.
The issue is that they thought they were joining a women's society, and there are some male people present, and that's not what they signed.
Women's society, male people. Why don't you say men? They thought they were joining a women's society, but unfortunately that women's society had let men in. So actually it was a unisex society. It wasn't a society for women at all.
Signed up for, and it's not what the charity gets its funds to do.
Well, we're joined now by Rowena Purdy. Morning, Rowena.
Morning.
Who says that she accepts.
Nobody look at him. He just looks like a man. Everyone in that room has got to pretend that that bloke there looks anything other than a man. He's a man.
The Women's Institute simply has to follow the law, but she wants the government to revisit the ruling so that medically transitioned trans women like her can continue attending.
Oh, so if you get your cock chopped off, you can go to women's meetings. See, this is where these men are trying to create a special place for them. Just like all the other men, Brianna Wu, Debbie Hayton, all of these men are trying to differentiate themselves from men that have their penises still and men that have chopped them off. That's what they do. They want to go, if you make some changes to your body, then you can be accepted as a woman. Like if you cut your penis off, if you take estrogen, then you deserve to be a woman. And the rest of the men, they have to just continue to be men.
WI meetings and sessions and so forth. This is a very interesting point that you make here, and I've not heard someone in your position say this before. So
Oh, they've all said it, actually, Richard. They've all been saying it for the longest of time. That's why The Spectator has Debbie Hayton talking. Like, they're all still seen as men, because that's why they're promoted above women who talk about this stuff. So that's why you've got him on.
I'd like to explore it. You basically say that, in your opinion, there are some men who are not proper trans women. In a sense, they're sort of...
So there are some women that are not proper women, and there are some, because they're trans women, and there's some trans women that aren't proper trans women because they're men. Or there are just men, and there are just women.
muddying the waters in this discussion. What do you mean?
Well, because I look at this in as a personal way, because I mean I'm not speaking on behalf of the Women's Institute.
Well, just as well, because you're a man, so you couldn't possibly speak on behalf of a women's organisation, could you?
Let's get that straight away.
No.
And we all know that there are men that go around and put dresses on and call themselves women.
Yeah, that's you, Rowena, Dave, whatever your name is. That's what you do.
And think that they may now be trans women, but they're not. To be a trans woman, you've got an awful lot of medical things to go through, not necessarily very comfortable.
Yeah, but you're still a man.
And on my behalf, I'm now fully transformed, fully transitioned, and so I go to WI. And I've been a member now for 10 years or so, and my local group are quite happy with me. In fact,
Manipulative men get women to invite them into places, you know. They don't push their way in. They get invited. That's what manipulative, coercive men do.
extent that they don't want me to go in April. But of course the WI says I have to go. And I think the waters are very muddied by people who literally do put a dress on and then try and get into women's spaces, if you like.
Yes.
And I think that
What this bloke is saying here is that he uses women-only spaces. That's what he's saying.
that's wrong.
Is that not what the Supreme Court was trying to establish?
Yes, it obviously was, but there were no transgender spokespeople.
That's because, Dave, we don't give a shit what you think about us having women-only spaces. We don't care where you go. We don't care about you at all. We don't want you in our spaces. So why would you be consulted about the fucking law? Why would any of you men be asked, what do you think of the law? Do you like the law? Do you not like the law? You're not biological women. You're not women at all. You're not women.
At the actual hearing to stand up and say, hey, hang on a minute, you know, people like me have gone through all the medical side of
Hey, hang on a minute. I've really tried to look like a woman. So can't I come in? Can't I have access to women-only spaces is what Dave wants here. He wants to come in.
life. And now, you know, living quite comfortably, quite happily,
No,
probably very happily.
Any minute now, one of the two presenters are going to say, yes, but what about women who don't see you as a woman and don't you want you in the WI or in their spaces, Dave? Wait for it.
As a full woman.
What's been the
As a full woman.
emotional or perhaps psychological impact on you as a trans woman of this ban, of being told after all these years of happily going along to the WI, being happily accepted by them and living your life as a fully transitioned woman? What psychological impact is it to be told, actually, no, sorry, you don't count anymore?
Yes, your hands like shovels. You can't come in.
Upsetting, in a word. And on a personal level, I live on my own. I'm now, you know, well and truly retired, trying to find things to do. So my monthly meeting with the WI a mile down the road gets me out socially.
Yes, Dave. And what your attendance at that monthly meeting might have prevented countless women from going to that monthly meeting. So you won't know how many women have self-excluded from the WI because of your presence. Or how many women just didn't ever bother going along because they knew that you were there. So I have no sympathy for you whatsoever.
So there's a social aspect to being a member of the WI. And I find that I am, because I'm accepted, I'm just another member. And so suddenly this news that
You're not. You're a man. You sound like a man. You look like a man. You are a man. Manatee man. You're a man. So not all women, even in that small group, will have accepted you at all. And nor should they.
came through that said, next April, sorry, you can't be a full member. I got quite upset. I didn't get annoyed or cross or anything like that because
You can see the legal side of it.
yes, I can see the legal side of it. And I mean, the sort of the safe spots for women and the athletics and sport. I can see the side of that says if you're a man, you can't, even if you're wearing a skirt or a bikini or whatever, you can't possibly be a woman.
You've made it.
Yeah, but he thinks if you chop off your knob and get rid of your testicles, which probably, I mean, at his age might not be working that well anyway, and you grow your hair long and you wear women's clothes, that you are a woman. Like, genuinely, that's what he thinks, that you can do things to become a woman. Like, forget the fact that he's not one, that there's not a day that he's ever spent in his life where he is one.
Clear that you've had all the operations,
Yeah,
multiple, and you are, in that sense, fully transitioned. What would you say to somebody watching who would say, not in a hostile way, but simply as a matter of an observation, that you still have the male chromosomes and therefore you are still a man?
That is a very, very difficult point because biologically everybody says there are two chromosomes, an XX and an XY.
Yeah.
Actually, biologically, naturally speaking, if you start looking...
You see, any sympathy that I had for him, which was in the minus figures, has now decreased even further because he's going to try and pretend, look, Dave, we know you're a man. We know that you know you're a man. We know that your whole life you know you're a man. And now you're going to try and pretend that there's some other reason why you want to wear a dress and pretend to be a woman besides some sort of magic fetishy pervert thing.
deeply into it, there are a lot more than just the two.
Yeah, but you've just got you've got XY chromosomes and you're just an AGP, just an old AGP, but you're still an AGP. Oh.
Chromosomes. So in a way, yes, I can see that you're either XX or you're an XY, and I can't remember which is male and which is female. I don't really mind.
The ones that you've got are XY, so that's male.
But there's been a lot of research in America, especially, which has definitely decided there's something called an SRY chromosome, which is almost like intersex, where you're neither one nor the other, or in some ways you could possibly be both.
What will you do in April when the Women's Institute says, you were born biological man, therefore you're no longer eligible for Women's Institute membership?
I think that, in a way, I mean, the WI is now saying they're looking at a sisterhood, so that if you're not a full member of the WI, you can sort of be an associate type member, as I see it.
So you will still be able to have access to the community?
I think that depends on the actual group. My lot said we had a meeting on Wednesday when it was all announced, and they all looked at me and went, "What do you mean?"
Well, I hope that is, if they start doing that, then they'll just have to admit they're mixed sex, won't they? And they should lose their charitable status, because if they're trying to find loopholes in the law in order to involve men like him, then they deserve to be shut down.
You can't come anymore, So they've looked at it in a different way and said, well, we always have visitors. You can come along as a visitor. It's not the same, but...
Because it doesn't validate you as a woman.
It doesn't, no.
No. Just briefly before we say goodbye to you, you're a former RAF pilot.
Oh, that's so unusual that someone in the armed forces then pretends to be a woman. How unusual. God, that never happens.
Officer.
Okay.
I was not a pilot.
Okay, sorry. I was
You served with the RAF.
Yes.
You were in the RAF, yes. And you retired a long time ago. How long have you been living your life as a woman?
Since fully transitioning, probably about 10 years.
10 years.
So it's 10, 12, because there's a period before you go through the medical where you have to live as a woman, even though you haven't started the pathway.
But you felt it from an early age.
Yeah.
And you couldn't declare that while you were serving with the RAF?
Absolutely not, no. I mean, now you can. I mean, and I'm a member of Fighting with Pride, which is the LGBT charity.
He's not just a member of the WI. He's a proper piece of shit. He's not, look, you could be forgiven. All of you could be forgiven. You male people, male-bodied people. You could be forgiven for having some sort of tiny bit of compassion for this man. Oh, he's going to be on his own, blah, blah, blah. But he's the same as all the rest of them. Dangerous, AGP, boundary invading piece of shit man. That's all he is.
For those of us that had to serve hidden. Well, I was lucky. I did all my service and I went into the reserves. And I hid it from my wife. But I mean,
there as well. Piece of shit to his wife. Don't know if he's got children. Probably has. Probably hid this from his wife the whole time. Oh, well done. Oh, well done. God, that must have been so hard for you, for totally lying to your wife your whole marriage. So she probably knew that you were hiding things from her and that you were a piece of shit. And they're all sympathetic. Oh, hiding that from your wife. Oh.
People didn't. But yes, I mean, this was a problem because I knew but couldn't say anything.
Are you still married?
I am still married, but we don't live together.
Interesting. Fascinating talking to you, Rowena. Thank you very much indeed. A spokesperson for the Women's Institute.
To Rowena's wife, whoever you are, well done. I hope you kicked him out. I hope you've taken as much as you possibly can. I hope he hasn't spent all of your money on this fetish pursuit of his.
The Institute says it deeply regrets the decision, saying we had no other choice. And as Rowena said, it will create new sisterhood groups for trans women. Right, still to come. The government is warning young people they will lose their benefits if they turn...
I hope that what they do is they create a new thing just for those men who call themselves women, and then they'll realise that no one will go because it's not validating. For Rowena, as people keep saying in the chat. Oh, I don't know. You just have to listen to these men for just the shortest amount of time. And then what you find out is that they're all the same. Every last one of them. Anyway, if you need a bit of cheering up after that, I just want to say again, I do really like the women from Sex Matters. I think Sex Matters does some really great work. I just wish they would stop this erasure of language around the word man, men, and women, woman. It's something that I've talked about right from the very, very beginning. And it just, when you hear a news report like that, where everyone's saying she, trans woman, female, born female, etc., and then the only people that they have on the program to speak up for women can't even bring themselves to use the word man. And I don't think it's on purpose. I think they're so used to having to kind of not use this language, because for them, it must represent, using the word man and men must represent to them something that is extreme, harsh, or any of those. It's this impolite thing that now in polite society, when you talk about men LARPing as women, if you're fully on board with the cult, you call them women or trans women. And if you're trying to look like somebody who's a rational, reasonable person speaking up for women's rights, you'll call those men male people, male-bodied, male persons, but you won't say the word man and men. And even if they sometimes use it, the fact that they don't say it every time. And someone said the other day, well, they say male people because that's men and men and boys. Men and boys is 3 syllables. Male people is 3 syllables. And those 3, we've always said men and boys, boys and men and boys. Or if it's for men and boys, if it's a space for men and boys, you might say a male toilet, a female changing room. You definitely might say that. But you don't need to be saying male-bodied and male persons. I think it's really, really important to say that. Anyway, if you need, if you can speak the truth when all others around you are trying to erase direct, efficient language, then I promise we will win. If you can go over to letwomenspeak.org and get yourself a little download of any of the tunes that I've been playing, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose.
By the big Christmas tree where the choir sang free, we were chanting for women to hear. But the copper flashed his knickers, saying I'll arrest you for stickers, and said his name was Janet this year.
They've got pronouns for liars and dress sense that's dire, and women they often harass. And everyone knows, as the saying still goes, Dave, you simply don't pass.
You pervert, you invader, gross woman, eraser, we know what you are, silly man. Lipstick on a pig, some Dave in a wig. Flash little girls when you can. On Turf Island the lights glow, the moms shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last, and this year we sing Merry Turfmas.
Turf Island is glowing, frosty air, all the snow and Christmas wishes for you and for me. No men in our spaces and out of our faces, you scumbag, grotesque AGP.
On Turf Island the lights glow, the moms shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last, and this year we sing Merry Turfmas. They've got slogans and cries and the deadest of eyes when they rant about stunning and brave. But the whole town agrees, even Brighton decrees, you're still just a fat bloke named Dave. On Turf Island the lights glow, the moms shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last, and this year we sing Merry Turfmas. galore and a cult keeping score, and they shriek if you don't kiss their arse. But the women hold fast, 'cause biology last. And no, Dave, you still don't pass. On Turf Island the lights glow, the moms shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last. And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass. On Turf Island the lights glow, the moms shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last. And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass.
They've got tantrums and tears and validation fears, and they beg for applause from the class. But the girls stand their ground, 'cause the truth comes around. And no, Dave, you'll never pass.
You pervert, you invader, gross woman eraser. We know what you are, silly man. Lipstick on a pig, some Dave in a wig. Flash little girls when you can. On Turf Island the lights glow, the mums shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last. And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass. On Turf Island the lights glow, the mums shout no! Our children are safer today. Our bravery grows and our voices will last. And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass.
And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass. And this year we sing Merry Turf Mass.
I've sold more.
Feminist charlatan, more than a bargain then. I say I think women have cocks and that men look good in frocks, but I'll sell my arse on OnlyFans and claim that it's a feminist